going out there tonight?
Whoa. You stumped me now.
Check out our website, mannimalresearch.com. Thanks to everybody. Hello. How's it going out there tonight? Hope everyone is doing well. Those of you that will catch it live with us tonight, those of you that will come back and catch it later, we don't mind how you watch it, just as long as you watch it. We appreciate your support, guys. We really do. Hope everyone out there is doing well. And, yes, taking care of each other, like always. I am joined tonight, as always, by my good friend and my partner in crime, Mr. Derek Jasper Walls. How's it going tonight, buddy?
What up, man? Not much. Just relaxing, enjoying the day.
You got something pretty exciting coming up next weekend, huh?
Yeah, we got our little outing next week, so it's gonna be something. And I've talked to the people down there that they have Verizon, so we may have some decent signal down there.
Good deal. Now, are we going to be staying, or if I can come, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to or not, but you guys, are y'all going to be camping on their property, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna consider that as home base, and I've already planned it out as that's gonna be. At first, when I seen it, I was kind of delirious of it, but they assured me that everything's fine. That the people that are actually trying to buy the property actually have been camping out there. So I was like, okay, that'd be great. Then we'll use that as home base, and we'll venture out to the woods there where it's at. But we got actually a plus for that weekend, because a place called Corpsewood Manor is up the road.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm gonna do a 2-part thing, and we're gonna.
Man, I've heard so many bad things about that place.
Yeah,
you did not tell me that it was close to that place.
It's
Oh my God, I don't know if I want any part of that, man. It's like Corpsewood Manor or something like that.
Yeah, it's up there. It's off of near Taylor. The area is called Taylor Ridge. It's a big mountain ridge.
I'm sure some of our people out there have heard about it, man.
Yeah, one of our spots is on the back side of it, so where it's if you look at it, it looks like you wouldn't think things would be able to hide, but it's a big area where it's at. There's a big, huge pond near it, through the woods, and I mean if something is through there, it can get through there.
Basically, a quick story about Corpsewood Manor. 2 men, 2 guys, they were a couple. They were like life partners, if I remember correctly. They moved down from up north and bought some land in North Georgia in the mountains and built pretty much almost a mansion up in the woods in the middle of nowhere. And it was really, really extravagant. Like, they had it decked out with all kind of antiques and expensive stuff. Mm-hmm. And word got out to some area people. I guess the wrong type of people heard about it, and a group of 4 or 5 of them went up there and killed the 2 men and robbed the place. Killed them and robbed the place, and it's supposed to be extremely haunted, because those 2 guys, not only did they have an interesting lifestyle, an alternate lifestyle, but they had an interesting lifestyle as well. They were very much into the occult and devil worship and stuff like that. So this place is pretty creepy, man. I knew about where it was, but I didn't know we were going to be getting anywhere near that.
Yeah, it's probably, she said, they told me it was like maybe 20 minutes up the road, 25, 20, 30 minutes up the road, maybe less than that. So it's up on a trail there. So yeah, we'll check it out.
Let me real quick. Let's say hello to our buddy Jimmy James. He says, "Hey, my friends, I'm home now, still using a chair and walker. Wish I was able to go squatching maybe soon." Buddy, I'm glad to hear from you, man. You've been in my thoughts and in my prayers. You really have. I knew something had to
Be
be
right
up
back,
with you.
Wayne. I got a phone call from my
Okay.
son.
Okay. I knew something had to be up with you, buddy. When we hadn't heard from you, we've been on a couple outings, and you weren't able to attend. So we knew something was up with you, man. I'm glad you're reaching out to us. I got the friend request from you, and boy, I was glad to see it. I really was. I hope everything is doing well, buddy. And like I said, you've been in my thoughts, been in my prayers. So I'm happy to see this message come across. All right, while Walls is taking care of stuff on his end, let's do all this boring stuff. If you guys have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. We are getting closer to 1,300 subs, so we're getting up there. Still a long way from where we want to be. More people, the better. That more people we can reach, the better. More people to get in touch with us and get their stories out there and start talking about this thing, this creature, this in subject, whatever it is, talking about it a little bit more. That'd be a good thing. Because as we've always said, as we believe in as a group, we believe that the best way to learn about these creatures, since we don't have one to study, best way to learn about them is from people like our guest tonight, and a lot of the guests that we've had on that have witnessed them, themselves, and can talk about their behavior and what they look like and everything. Because until we get a live one, I don't ever see getting a live one. The other alternative is going to be getting a dead one. Until we get a dead one, we're just not going to be able to study them other than viewing them in their natural habitat. So that's why we're doing what we're doing, trying to reach as many people, to talk to as many people as we can, and get it out there to you guys. Talk about it, share it, and try to put pieces together as best we can, and we're doing that from eyewitnesses. So yeah, guys, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, family, if they haven't done so. We would appreciate it. Also, our research, our research, our website, manimalresearch.com. As you guys know, I've talked about it is down right now. I am in talks. I'm not officially in talks, but there is someone that I'm going to be talking to about helping us get the website back up and going, getting it looking better, getting it to something that we can all be proud of. So it's under works, and I'm still looking if anybody else out there can help us with getting it up and going. Like I said, I don't have anybody definite that's going to do it, but yeah, anybody that's got that kind of experience, I'd love to talk to you. Hit me up. But as of right now, the website is down. The best way to get a hold of us is through our Facebook group. That is Mannimal Research on Facebook. Every one of y'all have a Facebook account. Don't lie. You do. That's how I get most of my people to come on is through Facebook. But yeah, guys, head over to Mannimal Research on Facebook. We've got about 1,000 members on there too. So and we started the Facebook group around the same time as we started the channel. So I figured we'd be pretty close there, neck and neck with members and subscribers. So yeah, guys, go over and join us on Mannimal Research on Facebook. And like always, guys, interesting guest tonight. Feel free to ask him questions. But if you do so, make it a lot easier on Walls and myself, especially Walls, because that's his specialty here. If you put the questions or the comments in all caps. So do that for us, guys. It helps us to get to you quicker. It helps us notice you quicker, and get those questions asked. All right, got all that out of the way. What else? What else we got in store for this weekend, buddy? Who all do you know that is coming for sure?
Greg,
Hey,
Kelsey,
lower your screen a little bit. Your face is cut
oh,
off.
Sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Keith's going to come down. He's coming down with him and his wife. John's going. Kenneth, yeah.
Okay.
John's coming. Greg, Kelsey, and then me. I think that's it.
Is
Bobby
Jen
was
coming?
going. I might have to go back and pick her up. She might do one night. She thought about it. She ain't fully thought about it yet.
What about Bobby?
He wanted to come, but he got some stuff going on with work and everything. So I said, well, maybe next time it'll be all right. So it'll be us. So it'll be us. And I told him, I said, well, Wayne may get a chance or drop by for a daytime.
Yeah, I've talked to Jordan about it. Of you, just about everybody knows. Jordan and I had our daughter 16 days ago. Yeah, she's 16 days old now. And if you've forgotten how beautiful she is, there she is. Look at that face. But yeah, as you guys know, we just had our daughter, so I've been spending a lot of time with them and at home. Hadn't wanted to leave her a lot, but Jordan's mom's been staying with us quite a bit, so she might be with us with her next weekend. And if that's the case, then I might have the green light to come on out on the expedition, and hopefully for the whole thing. If not, maybe I can get at least one night in, or come for a day trip or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So you say Kenneth and his wife John's going to be there. Can't wait for you to meet John. John's awesome. Very good guy. John is our resident PhD in the group. He has a PhD in neuroscience, so he is an extremely smart man. He really is. So Kenneth, John, we got Greg, Kelsey, Kenneth's old lady, you, maybe Jen, maybe me. Be a good time, man. Be a really good time. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to have it where I was telling John. I said we may try to do it where a group go up towards the manor, and then a group do the woods, and then switch it out, flip it out, and then that way see if anything.
I can't remember what show it was. Maybe one of our viewers knows. It's one of these cryptid shows on the Travel Channel or something, where they talked to a couple of guys that went up there to the Corpsewood Manor to do a paranormal investigation, and they ended up getting chased out by a Bigfoot. So I put the two together for a while now. So yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, we have killed about 14 minutes, and we haven't got to our guest yet. So let's bring him on, talk about him a little bit. Tonight, guys, we have Dustin. Dustin is coming to us from out in northern Idaho. He's a long way away from us, but he is coming on to talk about some skunk apes. His encounter happened down in Florida, so that's where it happened. He's going to come on and talk to about the park, the state park that it happened in, and give us some good detail. He says that he remembers just about everything that happened that day. So it should be a really good show tonight. I've talked to Dustin a little bit. Seems like a really good guy. Excited to have him on. Jasper, if you ain't got, or Walls, if you ain't got anything else, we'll go ahead and bring him on, buddy.
Let's bring him on. I'm actually pulling up that manor stuff. See if I can find it.
Do your little research while we're cooking here. There he is, Dustin. How's it going?
Good.
You doing all right, buddy?
Just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on. And by the way, congratulations on your baby. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it very much, buddy.
Okay. Oh, to answer your question about the show, I think the show is called These Woods Are Haunted on Travel Channel. I think that's it.
So you've seen it?
Yeah, I think I saw it. Yeah, they're out there, and Yeah, they get chased out by some Bigfoot type creature. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Very
But
cool. Very cool. All right, it looks like we got a little bit of a delay, and that's not anybody's fault. So you're hearing me a little bit later or something, but that's not a problem. It happens from time to time. So
yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question here, and then you just answer the question, and then just go into your encounter. Okay, so that question, and like I told you before, the show's yours from this point on. I'll ask you the question, and you take over and give us as much detail as you can, and every once in a while, Walls and I will stop you and ask you a question. But yeah, the show's yours, buddy. But what I
All
wanted
right.
to ask was, before this encounter, what was your knowledge of the topic, and were you a believer?
Before this encounter, I knew about Bigfoot and stuff like that. But down in Florida, like you said, we call them skunk apes. And the thing I knew about skunk apes in Florida is they're not as big as they are, like per se, in the California or Pacific Northwest area. Where skunk ape, the one that I saw was maybe 6.5 feet tall, as opposed to the northern Sasquatch, which gets 7+. Uh, and that's quite common down there. As a kid growing up, I knew about Bigfoot. I remember my dad telling me stories about it and stuff like that, how he thought he saw one when he was a young kid and stuff like that. And I was a little bit skeptical, but my dad and my family, we tend to joke around a lot with each other, pull each other's legs and stuff like that. And so I didn't really take it necessarily too serious. And but I was always interested in it. I always liked the idea of the mystery of it, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I was a little bit fascinated about it when I was a kid. But when I started getting in my teenage years, I was like, whatever. It's like there ain't nothing out there. We've scoured the earth enough. It's like, whatever. But that's not the case as to what happened. So. So my encounter happened when I was about 16 years old. We were camping at this state park. It's called Mayaca River State Park. It's east of Sarasota, if I'm right. It's in Manatee County, and we were only about 45 minutes away from it for a drive, so it didn't take us very long to get there. And I remember going on a middle school field trip up there one time, and I thought it was really cool. I thought it was nice. It had a lot of history and how the pioneers would come and they settled there and stuff like that. So it had a lot of history there. And I was always a huge history nerd. I was always into that subject. So I showed my parents the place, and my parents they fell in love with it. They still go there even to this day, every single weekend. So, but we decided we were going to book us a camp spot in, believe it was October. I know it was fall season, and I remember we had to book it like a month in advance because sometimes they would tend to fill up. But come that October, it wasn't really that busy, so we lucked out. We went there in October, and we were camping there. We were going to camp for, I think it was either 2 or 3 nights, I believe. I know it was definitely 2. First night we camped there, it was business as usual. We had our trailer set up, and we were sitting around, had a little fire going, cooking hot dogs and making s'mores and stuff like that. Just good old stuff. But at the time, I was doing homeschool, and my homeschool curriculum, I got to choose whatever I wanted, kind of like as an extra thing for curriculum. So I decided to do photography. I liked nature, and I thought, okay, I'll go do some nature photography on this trip. So that morning, no, the night after, I'm sorry, the day after we settled there, I decided to get up early one morning, and it was about, I want to say maybe 6 a.m., 6:30. The sun was just starting to crack up over the horizon, so it was still, the woods was still pretty dark, and you still heard all the crickets and stuff going like crazy. And I remember it was kind of cool that day. The air was also, in Florida, the air tends to be very humid, and even during the fall and winter season, it's still kind of heavy air almost. So it tends to get a little bit cooler than usual. So I decided that morning I was going to go and see if I
Now,
could do.
Dustin,
Yeah,
let me interrupt you for just a second. Ask a question.
sure.
You might have answered it, and I might have missed it. Trying to respond to some viewers here. But did you talk about what part of the state the park's in?
It was. Oh, it was on the southwest side of the state.
Okay.
You're more towards on the Gulf Coast. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
But sorry, yeah. Like I was saying, got up that morning and decided I was going to go down this one trail where I knew there would be some deer at and stuff like that. And it was kind of a popular trail. It was, if people have been there, I don't know if anybody's viewing has been there or not, but if anybody has gone there, there's this trail there called the Canopy Trail. And you go down this trail, and it actually cuts off into two separate trails. And so if you take the trail going to the right, it leads to this tower, this wooden tower that they built there. And it's a really tall tower. It's about 70 feet up. So you can climb up the whole tower and look over the whole canopy of the forest and see everywhere 360. And I didn't necessarily want to go down that trail because that was a very, very well traversed trail. So I knew there wasn't going to be very much animal life that way. So I decided to go left onto this other trail that goes to a creek that has this wooden bridge that you can cross. And normally this creek's kind of dried up and stuff like that, so there's not much there, but there was a little bit of water there. And so as soon as I got to the part of the trail where it was started to turn into the wooden bridge, I remember hearing off to my right, and it was not very far, but it was probably maybe, if I had to take a guess, maybe 100 feet away. But it was this low guttural grunt noise. And initially, when I heard it, I thought, oh, it's probably a boar. Which is like, that's common. That's common. I've got boar on pictures and stuff like that. But I was like, don't really hear them over here all that much, though. So I was looking over there, and I didn't see anything at first because the palmetto bushes were all growing up pretty good. So I decided to go over to the bridge a little bit more to see if I could see anything else. And as soon as I got to the bridge, it started turning into this grass type of area. That's when I seen this black looking type of figure by a tree. I initially thought it was a bear, a Florida black bear, because, like I said, not very big. When I seen it, I got really excited. I was like, "Oh, cool, black bear!" It's like you don't see those very often. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit closer and get a picture of it. But I was also being very cautious because it's a bear. You don't approach a bear.
Yeah.
So I got to it, and I got maybe within, if I had to take a guess, I got maybe within 100 feet of it. I know it was at least 100 feet. So not very far away at all. I got really good detail when I seen it. But as soon as I got to it, I remember I kind of stopped And I looked at it for a second because I was second guessing myself. And I'm like, is that a bear? What is that thing? As soon as I stopped and I looked at it, it stood up on its hind feet, and it turned around and it looked at me directly. As soon as it did that, my whole world pretty much just crashed right at my feet. Give me a second, kind of a little bit shaky just remembering that.
Take your time, buddy. Take your time.
Yeah. When I seen it, I literally lost all control of my body. I went into complete instant fear as to what I was looking at. This thing had no ears, no snout, nothing. It was just kind of flat-faced. The nose was kind of perked upwards like a gorilla. The skin was like a dark grayish color, but the eyes were very big and black. They were very this sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So still freaks me out every time I think about it. But I remember looking at it and it looked at me, and what honestly felt like forever, it might have only been maybe 60 seconds, maybe, of an encounter. But I remember so much looking at this thing and just saying to myself, oh my God, that is not a bear. I had no idea what it was. And I knew this thing could have tore me apart if it wanted to. It could have got to me and it could have tore me apart instantly. And so the fear that came over me and the adrenaline that hit my body, it literally left me frozen. I could not move. I didn't know what to do. I was completely frozen.
How tall?
And normally, how tall was it?
Yeah.
If I was going to take a guess, it was probably maybe 6'5", 6'7".
Okay.
So it wasn't incredibly tall, but it was very bulky. It was very, like, the muscles on it were very massive. This thing was very strong. I could tell by looking at it.
Yeah, 6'7" is a tall man. Yeah, 6'7" is a tall man. Yeah, but it's not that tall for these creatures. But 6'7" is a big boy.
Yeah, and that's definitely what this thing was. Yeah, I like this guy's comment. Yeah, in other words of truth, yeah, pretty much it did slap me in the face. I could not get over how big this thing was and how intimidating this thing looked in the face. But the thing was, when I stared at it and it looked at me, I didn't see really any aggression. If anything, it actually looked like it was surprised to see me as well. And I looked back on that and I was like, is this thing deadly? Is this thing dangerous towards people? Now that I think about it now, I don't know. And to be honest with you, I never want to get that close to that thing ever again. But as soon as I kind of got over the adrenaline and I realized, hey, your camera's right here. All you got to do is press the button and click. As soon as I picked my camera up to do this, he bolted. And I mean, he was gone in maybe three to 5 steps. He was gone. And when he ran, he was pushing everything out of the way. Trees were getting pushed out of the way, and it was doing nothing to him. It was like he knew where he was going. It's like those trees had no effect on him. And right there, as soon as he ran, I wasn't sure if he was going to circle around and maybe flank me on the other side or not. I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen. I wasn't sure if he was running to get away from me or if he was getting his buddies to come back to me. I had no clue. All I knew was right then and there, I had this instant hit of fear, like, you need to get out of here. You need to go. It was just this deep gut feeling, you need to leave.
You know, I bet when you raised your camera up, he thought it was a gun. Is the reason it took
probably
off.
did.
I've heard that before. I've heard other researchers to say. I've heard other researchers say if you find yourself in an encounter with one and you're in fear of them, just raise something up toward it, even if it's your phone. Raise it up toward them, and obviously we don't know. It's speculation that we think that it's a gun, that we think that they think it's a gun. We don't know, but they think it works. If you raise something up that they think other people think, and I think that they know what a gun is, and they don't like them. Gun goes boom, and I bet that's what happened. I bet that's what happened when you raise that camera up.
Yeah, and I remember running back to the to where my family was, and when I got to them, I was completely drenched in sweat. But the thing was, even though I was drenched in sweat, I was cold. I mean, I was shaking. There was so much fear, and I remember my mom looking at me and saying, "You look dead." She's like, "You look like you just saw a ghost." And I remember telling my dad what I saw, and my dad, I don't know if he necessarily believed me or not at the time, because he didn't really seem too concerned. Like I said, we tend to pull each other's legs and stuff like that all the time. So, he probably thought, 16-year-old kids joking around, whatever. But we also had the dogs with us. And so we decided to go back where I had my encounter. And the whole entire time we were walking there, the dogs were acting weird. They were like, my mom's like, "What's going on with the dogs?" The dogs are just acting completely weird. And as soon as we got
how were they
back,
acting?
very skittish, like they were afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, they were acting very skittish. Their tails were tucked between their legs. Yeah, they did not want to go forward. They wanted to go back. And so, and my dogs, well, they're skittish anyway. They're not big dogs. They're little dachshunds. So, so I know that there's nothing they can do to protect us. But as soon as we got to the bridge again where I saw the thing originally, we looked over behind the bridge just to see if there was anything over there, and we actually found a footprint. And we didn't have a tape measure with us. We couldn't necessarily see exactly how well the footprint was, but we knew by looking at it, this is not a pig print, this is not a bear print, it's not deer. No, this looks like somebody stepped here. And it was going the same direction that it was at where I saw it. So I did not smell anything, actually. I didn't smell a single thing. Like I said, the air was so heavy with the dew and everything that morning, you couldn't hardly smell anything. That, and I got such horrible sinuses, I can't even smell hardly anything at all. So,
and it's not every encounter that people report smelling these things. Then I was interested in that too. I was actually going to ask you earlier if you smelled anything, because it seems like only about half of the encounters that you hear people only actually smell something.
Yeah, and then again, when you're in Mayaca and you're close to the creeks and stuff like that, everything kind of smells. So it's kind of hard to pick up on one certain smell. So it's just a freak encounter, I guess. But when we saw the footprint, we looked at it, and my dad he took a guess. It was probably about 14 inches long.
Okay.
That's what we thought. Because we put our shoes up next to it. I'm a size 10, and it was surpassing me. So I knew it wasn't a very small person. So yeah. But another thing that happened that night, and I didn't put it on Facebook because I didn't necessarily think that it was really that important. That night, when we came back to the campsite, I wanted to go home. I did not want to stay there. I told my parents I want to leave. I want to leave. This was like I don't want to be here. But we paid for the spot, and my parents was like, nah, let's stay. Like, so we wound up staying one more night, and the next morning when we got up, my dad, he calls me over. He's like, hey, look at this. Towards the front of the camper, the very, very top of the camper, there's this window. And it's a good ways off the ground. I mean, I couldn't necessarily get up there and get it at the time if I wanted to. There was actually this small handprint right on there. And I wasn't sure if it was one of us or if it was it. But I think what happened was during that night, it might have known where I was at and decided to follow me back to my camp. And so I think it might have came in during the night and actually peeked in the window. So, but again, I have no clue if that was the thing or if that was my dad playing around. I have no idea. So,
Yeah.
but that's my encounter.
So, you guys were staying in a camper?
Yes.
And how high was this window where the handprint came?
I was going to take a guess at how high the window is. It was probably at least 8 feet off the ground. Because it was like one of those windows that looked down into the top bunk area. It was kind of like a maybe exhaust window or something like that.
It's awesome encounter, man. Sounds like you got a really good look at it from about 100 feet. You said, right?
Yeah, at least. It might have been shorter. I don't know.
Now, I'm gonna ask you some questions about the appearance, and
Okay.
just as much as you can, as best as you can remember, just try to help us out so that we can picture it. You said what color? What color was it again?
It was black fur.
Black. Well, now would you say it was fur or hair?
If I'm gonna take a guess, maybe it's hair. But
How long would you say?
see, the hair itself was probably about maybe that long, each strand hanging off of its body. So I'd
Okay.
probably say maybe 5 inches of hair.
Now,
If I was
did
gonna
it appear?
take a guess.
Yeah, yeah. Did it appear? Did the hair appear matted at all, or how would you describe the hair?
It was fairly matted. It was not combed or anything like that, so I know it wasn't anybody in a gorilla suit or anything like that. First off, there's no way anybody could run that fast. That thing was gone when I got my camera up. And another thing, the park wasn't even open at that time. The park was still closed because the park didn't open up until 8 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can at this point. I think we can rule out a 6'7" guy in a monkey suit running
Yeah.
a 4 flat 40 and in this suit in the swamp. I think we can rule that out
Yeah.
pretty much. It wasn't a man in
Yeah.
a suit.
No.
Okay. What about the face? Describe the face for us. I know you gave pretty good detail earlier, but if you don't mind, do that again for us.
Sure thing. The face was kind of flat. There was a little bit of a brow. Um, the head itself was a little coned, little cone. No, sorry, not coned. Coned. Um, the eyes were very round, black. The nose was kind of upwards motion like a gorilla. It had a pretty decent sized mouth on him. I didn't see its teeth because it had its mouth closed.
Okay. And
But
you
when I
said
looked
that
at,
the skin was kind of a gray color. Did I remember you saying that?
yeah, dark grayish color.
Okay, so you didn't see teeth,
No,
so I'm assuming that he didn't like snarl at you. Did you feel
no.
did you feel any kind of aggression? Did you ever at any time feel like you were in danger?
I think just the initial shock of looking at it was enough. Um, but the demeanor of the creature itself, I did not see any aggression. I actually saw more surprised to see you type of demeanor, like, what are you doing here? And
Okay.
that's what I saw.
Okay. And again, I remember you saying before, but I just don't remember what you said. What was he doing? He was stooped down. I'm assuming it was a he. I don't know. Um, it was stooped down. You said it stood up on two legs. What was it doing before it stood up?
I think it was foraging in the creek right by the
Okay.
trees and stuff like that, looking for anything like I know we have what is little I think I know we have like little shells and clams and stuff like that. Because I would see clams broken along the trails every once in a while. Uh, or not clams, shells, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, thank you. But he might have been foraging around, maybe trying to get some fish or something. All I know, he was right next to the creek, or he might have been
Okay.
drinking water.
There's a
Okay.
question on
Okay.
here. Maybe all three of us could probably figure this out. So that's a pretty good question. It's like, what's the difference between fur and hair that we believe in?
Yeah, I
I
saw
don't know. That's a good
Greg
question.
asked that, and I was
Yeah,
gonna address that in a minute. I mean, I don't. Maybe John's on here. Maybe John can answer it for us. My answer would be, I don't know, but you know the difference. You know when you see it. You know, like a bear has
I
fur.
honest,
I have hair. There's a difference there,
yeah,
but
cats,
I
fur.
can't tell you what the difference is.
I mean, the only way we got it is because we found that example that of hair that seems it's not
Mhm.
fur. It's definitely not fur. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like hair, human hair. Um,
mm-hmm.
Fur is
yeah,
thicker. I guess you put
John.
it. Fur is a lot thicker. Hair is a lot thinner. Some simple like that. I mean, what do you think, Justin?
Well,
It's
I can
Dustin.
definitely say, don't worry
Yes,
about it. I've
you tongue
been
twister.
called worse. uh, but honestly, if I was going to take a guess, I would say it's probably fur. And honestly, between the two, I think fur it just belongs to animal category, whereas hair belongs to human. I don't know.
Exactly. Kirk here has a pretty good answer. I think hair is thinner and weighs less, and I would agree with that.
I agree
Sounds
with
like
that.
something yeah, hair, human hair is a little. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest here, Dustin, you kind of got a little shook up there when you were
That.
describing it, when you were reliving it. Um,
Yeah.
I hate to make you do that, man, to put you
No,
through
no,
that
it's fine.
again, but to us, the people that are listening to you, that's pretty good validation in my book that you actually encountered something. You saw something that day that you could not explain. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't a man in a suit. You saw something that day that really bothered you, and it shook you. And man, I'm glad you came on here and talked to us about it.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that you guys invited me on. And hey, don't worry about it. It's honestly I think the more I talk about it, the easier it gets. Um, this is just one of those things where I kind of have to face it head on, like face your fears type of thing.
Mhm.
And so thinking back on it and reliving it and remembering the details that I have with it, I remember the details so well because how can you forget something like that? It's like
Mhm.
oh my God, you can't forget something like that. Uh, so I've actually been doing a lot of research on my own part. Like I've been actually going and talking to people who've had their own encounters. I've been going out in the field and doing my own research. I was actually out last night doing some call blasting, and I didn't get anything really in return, but I thought I heard a wood knock at one time. Uh, so I primarily do it now, not because I want to hunt it. I don't really necessarily believe in killing for no reason. Scientifically, the only way this thing is going to be proven to exist is yeah, a body's going to have to be provided. And
Yep.
as much as I don't like to say that, that's just truth. And but I'm not going to go out there and hunt it. Uh, honestly, to be perfectly honest, and I think this is kind of crazy to say it, but I kind of want to see it again. I kind of want to see it again. Maybe for closure, or maybe to just completely rule out 100% any disbelief that's in my head saying, hey, this is what it is. You saw this. And so I kind of just
You
want to do it myself.
know, I really, really believe, and I have a lot of encounters that I've heard to back this up, that when someone like you or myself or anyone, when they encounter one of these things, when you're not expecting it, you've been told all your life that these things aren't real. They're fairy tales. It's legend. When you come face to face with one, it changes everything. Everything shifts, and one of two things tends to happen. Now, not in every case, but the majority. One of two things tends to happen. Either you give up going in the woods completely, you give up hunting, fishing, sell all your guns, you don't want any part of the woods anymore, or you become curious like you are and you
Hmm.
want answers. And it takes you a little while, but you build up enough courage to get out there and face your fears and go back in the woods looking for it. And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and
Well, that's
John that I talked about earlier that has the PhD in neuroscience. He's an actually a psychologist, and he's the one that had this comment right here. Yes, reliving allows you to learn to cope with the initial trauma. That's not just somebody giving you advice. He's licensed. He is a
right.
psychologist. He has a PhD. He actually wrote a book, and it's coming out pretty soon, and it deals more with the scientific part of it. And there's a chapter in his book that I read that is great, and I actually wrote it in his book. He asked me to do a forward in his book, and I did. And what I commented was, everyone that's doing research needs to read this chapter, and it goes into fight or flight, and he gives you techniques on how to deal with that, because that's something that we all deal with. We have, when something
Hmm.
like this happens, we do one of two things: we fight or we run. And learning to control that is something that I really feel like we all, as researchers or investigators, need to do. And he has a copy, or he has a chapter in his book about that. So I just want to give him that little plug real quick.
Absolutely. And John, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Um, if I'm gonna, can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
I want to give some advice to anyone out there who is possibly looking for this creature or who just wants to be out in the woods in general, or to anyone out there who's had similar experience that I have. Don't stop going in the woods. Like, be careful, but don't stop. I mean, just be smart, be respectable, but don't give up something you love just because you had a bad experience. Don't give it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
I
this
think
experience.
that's really, really good advice.
Yeah, I had this experience, and yeah, I've had some bad nightmares from it. I've had night terrors actually. I've woken up in the middle of the night covered in sweat, and when I was with my ex at the time, she said I screamed in my sleep one time, and so and I remember, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to just give up because I love being outside. I love going out and fishing and just camping and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing what I do today, is because I want to know the truth. I was 16 years old when I saw
You
it.
were 16 when this happened, right?
16.
Okay.
29 now, and it still bothers me.
All right. Let me ask you this, Dustin. What do you think about protection out in the woods? Do you carry anything with you when you go, as far as a firearm or
Absolutely.
what? We do
Absolutely.
too. As
Yeah.
as a group, I suggest we don't go out in the woods without some type of at least a side piece. Keep it concealed. Definitely don't agree with going out with a rifle or anything, a shotgun or anything like that. But yeah, I agree with you, bud. Just keep a pistol on your hip.
Yeah, and I went out last night and I had my sidearm on me, and I was even talking to one of the rangers that were out there, and because I was in a protected area, which I noticed most sightings frequently happen in protected areas because I'm pretty sure that the species know that that area is safe. So um, I was talking to him last night, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing out here with that gun?" And I said, "I'm just carrying it on me just in case if I run into a bear or something like that." I told him, I said, "I'm not hunting, I'm not poaching or anything like that. I was like, just for my own safety because I'm out here by myself." And so uh,
Yeah.
he was like, "Okay, that's fine."
And
So,
I mean, if I could offer any advice, I know it's hard to do, but man, I don't recommend going out by yourself. I don't. I try not to. I've done it before, but I just don't think it's a good idea to go out by yourself, man. I know that's hard to do. It's
no, it's
hard,
not.
always hard to find somebody. It's hard to find somebody to come out with you, especially doing what you're doing what we're doing. And people's schedules conflict with each other, so it's hard. And if you got a passion for this, like we do, you're gonna go out by yourself. But man, I just
Mhm.
don't like it. You know?
I don't like it either, and that's why I usually carry, and that's why I have like 4 or 5 flashlights on me at one time, just in case one goes out, I got another.
This is
Yeah, no,
interesting right here.
I've heard about air horns. That's I remember watching on These Woods Are Haunted. A lady had an air horn that worked out pretty good for her.
Um, are these areas protected that you're going into? Are they WMAs?
Yes, yes, they are protected, and the reason why I go into protected areas is because there are people out there who are not hunting the deer. They're not hunting. Well, up here we have elk, deer, moose, mountain lion, all that stuff. And whereas down in Florida, you only have deer. And the reason why I go in that area is because upon doing my research, I've learned that deer and other animals such as that's food for Sasquatch. And so that's one of the primary reasons that I go to those areas, even though I know it's probably not the best idea to do it by myself. I go to that area because I'm most likely going to hear something or most likely going to see something.
Right.
So.
All right, buddy. We're coming up on an hour right now. I told you it would fly by.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I got one more question for you, and
Sure thing.
again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion. But what do you think these things are? What do you think a Bigfoot is?
I personally believe that Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, is a remnant of Gigantopithecus. That is what I personally believe it is. I don't think that I don't believe in the whole evolution thing or anything like that. I believe that this is just a species of great ape living in North America and all around the world.
I agree. Yeah, you talked about my theory right there. That's been my theory for a while. It's a descendant of Gigantopithecus blackie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very very well said. I agree with you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Again, let me thank you for taking the time on a Sunday
thank you
night
guys.
or Sunday evening where you're at. Thanks for taking the time to come on with us and reliving this, buddy. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on. If you guys ever want to talk again, just let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate
Okay, buddy.
it,
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I don't talk much because I'm too busy trying to find out everything in here and trying to do all kinds of technology. So, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
and usually a lot of the people
Oh,
that's on
good.
there, they already asked the question that I want to ask. So I might as well just keep my mouth shut.
Wallace is the one. He feeds. Y'all don't see it, but he feeds me questions. If people ask questions, he'll text me, message it to me so that I can see it, and then he's looking stuff up while the show's going on. And might not look like he's doing a lot or he's preoccupied. But that's because he is. He's doing stuff for the show though.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll let you go. But again,
right,
man,
you guys
thank you
have
very
a great
much.
night.
All
right.
You too,
God
buddy.
bless
Have
you.
a good one.
All right, bye.
All right, man. That was a really, really good encounter. And
Yeah.
man, we I don't know if we've had anybody on that had that level of emotion while they were reliving the account. And I think that's awesome. I've heard people on other shows, kind of break down a little bit, and get emotional or emotions come flooding back to them while they're reliving it. But we've never had it on this show that I can remember. And man, for him to do it, that just it just confirms it to me that something really happened to him out there that he can't explain.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, especially having emotions. That obviously, you're gonna have critics say, "Well, he's making it up." Well, to me, if there's emotions in something and they're choked up on something, knowing that it's something that scared them enough, that aggravated them, or it's hit a nerve, I don't see how you could just. Well, hell, for instance, Daryl's encounter out in the battlefield. He got attacked by something, by spiritual something. Wasn't a Bigfoot. We know that. It was a spiritual something. I was there. I seen what happened. I've been out there several times after this, and I've had full service the whole time. So that night was that right there. I mean, you can't fake it. And I mean, it just, but you're going to have it anyways. You're going to have critics. You're going to have them say it. You're going to have guys, yeah, you're full of crap, this and that. Well, I mean, that's been the same way as my encounter with my boys. I remembered every bit of it. You remember every bit of it. I mean, you can pretty much detail it. I mean, same way as losing my parents. I mean, I can that like it was yesterday, and talking about it gets emotional. I mean, it just does. I mean, our encounter for the camping trip, we had that, and it got me aggravated because we left. I remember every step by step what happened. A encounter happens, your mind, it's set in there, just like a footprint. It's boom, it's there. I mean, emotions is what
Yeah,
makes it
I
get
mean,
better.
the man's 29 years old. It happened when he was 16. And when he talked about it tonight, it still had that effect on him all these
Yeah.
years later. 13 years later? And it's still got a little bit of a hold on him. But, kudos to him for getting back out in the woods. And I'm going to talk to him a little bit more. He's still on here backstage listening. But I'm going to reach back out to him. So, Dustin, be ready. You said that you're getting out doing some research. I'd like to stay in touch with you about that. Maybe come on board with us. We have members in different states that are out researching this thing under the Mannimal name. So that might be something that he's interested in. But anyway, we've gone a little over an hour, and what I wanted to do was, before I let you go, I want to talk a little bit about this trip that we talked about, the one that we're doing this weekend. Found out some interesting stuff about it. I still don't know what to think about the Corpsewood Manor stuff, but we're doing it. But Squatching Cowboy there, Joe brought up our trip later in the year.
Yeah.
And been talking to Old Bear, Ralph, Old Bear about it, and we're going to do it in October. But we got that festival in October. So we're thinking about moving that camp out to November. And it seemed like a lot of our viewers were interested in it tonight. People kept asking about it. So I want to talk a little bit about it. What we're doing is we are going to have a big camp out. We're going to go to a campground. It may be the one that we went to last year when Old Bear came down from West Virginia. And Janice Carter was with us. She'll probably be with us on this one, and Ninja Dave as well. But we're thinking about renting out or booking up half of this campground and having people from all over come down and doing a camp out, a 2, maybe 3 night thing. And think about giving it a name and doing it annually, doing it every year. It's just an idea, could change. We'll have a cookout and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to charge anybody to do it, to come down. There won't be no fees or anything like that.
We're not going to, and we can't guarantee that nothing may not happen again. I mean, this one, it was just kind of strange. It was from my friend, which I've not talked to them in a while. I really don't know what's up, what's going on there. Last time I think was she actually asked when we was coming back, and I haven't heard from them since. So, but yeah, I mean, we can't promise nothing. It may be a peaceful night. It may not be something with Janice. I don't know. We can't promise nothing.
No, obviously we can't, and if weather permitting, last year we planned it, a month or so in advance, and then it finally came down to the weekend, and it rained the entire time. We were miserable. Mm-hmm. So obviously that could throw a wrench in it as well. But yeah, I mean, we're getting some interest on the thing. So I just wanted to talk about it real briefly before we go off the air tonight. But yeah, the guys, that's in the works. That's in the works. If you're interested, we'll have more info coming up soon about it.
Yeah.
All right, you want to say your goodbyes, buddy? You got anything else?
Oh, guys, be safe, be good. See us again. We should have a show Thursday. I can't promise since loads are getting stronger and higher up there, demanding. Thursdays maybe I might be if and on, so I could be on here and could be not be. we've got some guys that can come on and fill in for me. So I know I hate it missing Thursdays. He knows he knows I get him all the time. So look, I can do it on the phone. I don't care. But yeah, if God willing, if I'm home before 9 o'clock, then I can get on here. But it's at the peak time, as they say in trucking. It's peak time right now. So
Okay.
hopefully get to see you guys. If not, I'll see you on Sundays for sure. Unless, I get beat up by the wife, but that could be a different thing. But guys, be good. And hopefully we're going to try. We're going to check the signals. I do know that Verizon is signal strong out there. I know I go through there and I have signal. So if we do have signal, I'm going to be there Friday night, and I think the other guys are going to meet me too. So guys, be careful, be ready, and be on the lookout. We may go live, and I would like to do a live with you guys, and we'll see what happens. Because I know y'all like the lives of Battlefield, which I need to get back out there again, and y'all actually see better and hear more than what we can't hear. So if we got the good signal, we're definitely going to do it. So
sounds good, buddy. All right. Again, guys, awesome show tonight. Really, really good. They give another thanks to Dustin out there. Appreciate it, buddy, coming on and sharing your experience. Guys, everybody out there, be good to each other. Watch out for one another. Help each other out. Yeah, that's it. That's what hello, Miss Jen.
Hi.
Guys, be good to each other. And until next time, just be good. We'll see you later, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support.